Marriage rates have been declining for a while, but if we look deeper, from 1993 to 2023, high school boys have stayed the same, whereas high school girls have dropped 22 points. What's going on?
Some of it seems to track with young girls becoming more and more liberal, whereas young boys are just kind of steadily staying around the same place. But there has been also young boys getting trends of them getting more interested in some different, what we would define as maybe conservative ideas. I think that's why there's a mismatch.
This might be less about being anti-marriage and more about being broader pessimism.
That's a good way to put it. I think girls have higher rates of being anti-marriage than young boys when we look at the data. But all that is to say, they also have higher rates of pessimism. And so that's why I think, again, we see this mismatch. And where does the pessimism come from? I don't think you could possibly look at this without studying the effect of smartphones loaded with social media. And when you start to see the critical mass of smartphones with social media usage, and particularly algorithmic social media, you obviously start to see a lot of mental health challenges that are particularly acutely felt on young women.
From a top-down point of view, a lot of small C cultural push on television, on just narrative in general, which a lot of millennial women took the brunt of.
What happened for millennials was put really well in a story from BuzzFeed. And it said, Gen Z is souring on sexual positivity. I'm paraphrasing in a bit, but there was a quote from a young woman in it who was a survivor of sexual assault. And the line she said to BuzzFeed at the time was, HBO did a number on me. And she specifically referenced shows like Girls and Sex and the City that, especially for millennials, were depicting this era of, quote, sexual positivity that actually had a lot to do with throwing off the chains of traditionalism and tying sexual empowerment together with sexual promiscuity. And that, again, was really difficult for a lot of people when they entered their 30s, millennials particularly, when they entered their 30s. And I think Gen Z saw that. And Gen Z saw that and internalized the misery that comes with that chaos and is now very confused.
So on one hand, you have that sexual revolution aspect. On other hand, you have that let's fend off marriage until we achieve, quote, economic success. Where does that lead you?
Or marriage is not even a worthy institution. Marriage is a sort of Western patriarchal institution that is, not redeemable. It is not worth saving. I think there's just deep pessimism, chaos, and confusion that has stemmed from sowing confusion about what it means to be a girl, what it means to be a boy, and we're kind of reaping those bitter fruits right now.